Hi, this is Fix My Fibro, and my name's Bernadette. So, I want to talk about temperature sensitivity. It's something that just about every fibromyalgic has and suffers, and it's when you can be freezing cold, cannot get warm no matter what you do, or if you overheat, your symptoms get worse, you can't tolerate being out in the heat and quick temperature changes, or just even when the weather changes, your symptoms get worse. Yes, it's a real thing. No, you're not imagining it. And there's a medical reason behind it. And there is a condition called histamine intolerance, HIT, that is set off by mast cell activation syndrome. And it's a known fact that temperature changes will cause histamine release and cause exacerbation of symptoms, of all of your histamine symptoms. It increases your fatigue, it increases pain around the body, it affects your breathing, it can affect itchiness, your skin, and it's because you have an overload of histamines in your body that are setting off those symptoms. So the only way to manage it is to manage your diet by eating a low histamine diet. And also, it's been shown in research papers recently. Last year, there was some research papers published that showed that fibromyalgics, there was a study done in Spain of 100 fibromyalgic women aged between 33 and 61, and they found that 75% of them had histamine defects or histamine changes in 4 particular variants of a gene called AOC1. Don't need to know what it stands for. It relates to, the enzymes that are produced. But these variants cause this histamine disorder. So basically, I'm telling you that it's proven that histamine is an issue in fibromyalgia. If you haven't heard it, I'm glad you're hearing it here first. There are things you can do. The first thing you can do is eat a low histamine diet. So there's lots of different wonderful websites, lots of different recipe websites with hundreds of different recipes that you can eat relating to low histamine. The only caution I have with the low histamine recipes is that because we also have this purine metabolic disorder that I determined, if you need to scan your recipes, and if they contain any high purine foods in them, you shouldn't use those items or should have those items or those food items in your recipes. So histamines are in beans, they're in all fermented products, they're in pineapple, they're in kiwi fruit, they're in tomato, they're in what else are histamines in? Any leftovers, actually. And you don't realize that with every day that you have a leftover, the histamine concentration increases. So when you cook, it's really important. If you're making a meal for 4 and you're not feeding a whole family, you're just feeding yourself, it's really important to put those other 3 meals in a container, chuck it in the freezer, snap freeze it, and when you want to eat it, you just thaw it out and heat it up and you'll eat it and you'll minimize your histamines. I didn't realize that's how I used to always cook. I've been on my own. I didn't have any luck in relationships with my fibro symptoms and people not understanding my obsession with fibromyalgia and trying to figure it out. So when I cook meals, I would always just do that, snap freeze them and then take them out. And that means I wouldn't have to cook later in the week. And I'd have a whole host of meals whenever I do a big cook up on a weekend. And I would eat foods like that. But this temperature sensitivity is caused by histamines, and it's really important to take supplementation. I'm covering that in a lot of other videos, the DAO enzyme. There are also some extra items that you can have. There's another, it's called a flavonoid called what's it called? Quercetin, Quercetin. You can buy it at any chemist, any pharmacy. And having that along with your DAO enzyme actually helps. Zinc also is a cofactor to DAO enzyme that breaks down your histamine levels, and we have low DAO enzyme activity. It's been proven for fibromyalgia. So zinc, so just rather than having a separate zinc supplement, I just think having a multivitamin once a week, will with the meal will allow you to increase your zinc levels and also help with your with your histamine management. And what else did I want to say about histamines? Oh, I'll cover it in another video.